Okay. Let us see what we have here, and I hope everybody is able to hear me as we're going live, kind of impromptu. Oh, there it is. I see I got a notification for myself. Oh my God, that's amazing.
How about that?
Wow. Crazy things can happen. Crazy things can happen in crazy times, and these are insane. There is Xenomorphette.
There she is.
She is in the house. Welcome, Jen.
Oh, hello.
And we have Ray. Awesome to see you.
Hi, Ray. Great to see you. So glad you're here. Mine is stuck. Yeah, so just trying to get the equipment going. So, lovely computer equipment. As soon as you needed it, just I don't know what it's doing. I'm on the channel. It's not even showing on my end. I'm glad you guys are showing up though. I'll look at it.
I'm finding it here.
Okay. Yes.
Weird. No,
I know, it's
not
just
working
totally
there.
gone. It's kind of odd. But anyhow, other people are showing up. So, and I saw yes, the last person was Ray, and it's really good to have you guys in the house. And oh, good, we got Kruger is here. That's good. If she's here, everything's okay. And Miss Jessica, Robbie, Dana, Mama, I don't want to butcher your name, but I'm so happy to see you here. Love to see you here. You look fabulous. Miss you lots. Great you're here. And Sky Havoc, Xenomorphette, again, hello dear. Lots of people stepping in. Yeah, not sure exactly what's going on with my phone, but
No, that's so weird. I can't get you up there.
yeah, we can't find me on my phone, so it just feels like if I'm being blocked on my own phone, then I'm sure other people are probably having trouble too. But it's what they do, is it not?
They really don't like us.
No, they don't like us. We got put in the doghouse a while ago, and there we stay.
We've
And
been in the doghouse for 5
and
years.
Moonsprout, hello, Carolina. Hi, you guys. Great to see you. Thanks for coming in. Thank you guys for supporting the awakening, because we need every person we can get. We need everybody. We need all of us in here. So you guys really matter, and thanks for saying hi. And thank you. There's our DJ. Thank you for the thumbs up, and just, thank you for being here. This is a huge awakening. It's a lot of people who are doing the things and doing the work and taking the time, and you guys have taken the time to study. You've taken the time to go within. You've taken the time to learn the truth, and we all need to do that together. There's our Miss Rosemary. Hello. Add me on that list too. Love our Rosemary. She's just one of a kind. Very, very, very good person. Always wants to help people, is helping people. So we need...
Okay, it finally showed up on yours.
Okay, so mine finally showed up on my phone, guys. Thanks for the support. But at the end of this, I think we have enough people for me to mention in here. At the end, providing like nothing crazy happens, we're going to do a gong. I would like to do a gong. So if you guys could hang out a little bit, we're going to do a gong. And that's just really refreshing. That's kind of the... and it's something that's very good, spiritual, uplifting. And I love my gong. I never knew I needed a gong until my very dear friend Jane sent me audio clip of her gong, and oh my gosh, it was just amazing. I had a wonderful cleansing purge. It felt so good, and I just felt like a new person. So I want to do that for you guys today. Just one of the ways to try to help everyone be on the same page. So. Here you go, dear.
Okay, so I just wanted to make mention, because I was just saying to Cindy, I said, it really feels like there's a extended family that's really coming together. I sense this. There are some people that I do like to watch, and they're doing the same thing we are to a degree in a different way, maybe a slightly different focus. And this is Lucius Aurelian. And, he's in a similar position to us. But he covers the same sort of thing. The control system, I think he's been a little bit better at not getting in trouble like we have gotten in trouble. But I just was watching over the last couple of days, I think it was a live that he did. This one, the post-reset horror. And yeah, I mean, there is just some things in there that I just thought, man, our subscribers would love to check this out from his angle, new fresh angle, because he'll never come out. I've never heard him come out and say anything about aliens. But at the same time, there's definitely something going on. Who is doing this? Because things don't make sense. So if you guys haven't checked out Lucius Aurelian, I would definitely, I'd recommend it. I enjoy him. We enjoy John Levy. It's a Sunday morning thing to watch John Levy every Sunday morning with coffee. I look forward to it. I see Elena's there, Western North Carolina. Oh, our beloved Rosemary is here as well. Sin Havoc, Earth, Ed Delorax. Yeah, absolutely. Will's here as well. This is good stuff. Carolina Dreams. So, yeah, you'll enjoy it. Lucius is a good one. And our friend that we've talked to, and he follows us. He follows us on a regular basis. R. Wayne Steiger. And we had made plans, I want to say 2019, 2020, to get together and do some shows. And then I think we were going to do it maybe around 2022. And somehow we just never ended up setting a date. But we are definitely getting together with him this week. So, we will be sharing our thoughts together, and we're really looking forward to it because, boy, especially, what I've seen of his more recent videos, oh, great stuff. I mean, I wanted to applaud, really. I was so impressed by some of the recent ones, not that he hasn't been good for eons. And it's just, good stuff. I mean, really good stuff. And let's see, which one was it? Yeah, especially his info here on the black cube and all about the black cube. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right. Very, very good guy. Very refreshing to hear the truth come from someone. I mean, it's like it helps the soul to know that you're not alone, to know that, hey, other people think like I do. And we are very, very, very excited. So thanks everyone for showing up and coming in. So we have some news today that Mike has set up. I mean, it's not a lot of news, but it's some that we felt we should go live because one of them seems very considerable, kind of like a really big deal to us anyway, considering everything that's been going on. So hey, Rasta Bear, there you are. Benzomatic, Lorax, love it. So glad to see everybody here supporting the awakening in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mind Unveiled had taken some time off, and then now they're back to posting. They're fun too. They're just enjoyable. So in case you haven't checked out our Patreon over here, it's just an invitation as always. There's over 900 people that watch us on Patreon now. So, Patreon has really grown very, very well. And we're grateful for that. There's different membership tiers as well with different benefits. So do check that out. And also, if you guys ever want to make an appointment with us for energy work, Vedic astrology charts, it felt good to do another astrology video today on EEARTS. It's so often we get caught up with all the news and all the what's happenings, but as far as our real passions, It's energy work. It's astrology. It's the deep dive mysteries. I love doing the deep dive, videos and stuff. And we have so much stuff planned. And it's starting to be, it's starting to manifest in different ways as we have an adopted daughter that is literally starting to work on the website here, evolutionaryenergyarts.com. And so, she is of a different generation than we are, as I've been saying, hey,
very much needed.
She is very much needed, fresh looking, fresh ideas, fresh thoughts. And so she's going to be giving this an upgrade and, bringing us a little bit more into this this time frame. So if you haven't checked it out, please do check it out. Again, we were hacked here. And what did they hack from this website? They took our reviews. Yeah, and it's not surprising. I had 2 Facebooks that had maxed out your friends or what have you on Facebook, and I had over 1,000 reviews, and they wiped it out. Only the reviews on our evolutionaryenergyarts.com channel, but they took out, they just took down the entirety of Facebook, so I haven't had one since then. This is kind of miraculous. I think you could say that. You could see there's no wings. This is a Delta plane that came down. No wings, no tail. Yet, as far as what we have going is at the moment, unless there's been an update, we don't have any fatalities yet. We do have multiple people in critical condition, so please put your healing prayers and healing energy out there for everybody that came down. So Delta Airlines CRJ 900, it's a jet operated by Endeavour Air, has crashed and overturned with numerous passengers on board. Currently, numerous emergency crews are on the scene at Toronto Pearson Airport after a Delta Airlines flight from Minneapolis-St. Paul to Toronto, operated by Endeavour Air, crashed and landed upside down. The flight Endeavour 4819, a CRJ 900. This is a Mitsubishi plane. I was wondering if it was a Boeing. Of course, right away I'm thinking, is it a Boeing? No, it's not. So it's a different plane. There is the thought that there's going to be somewhere in the world, if you keep into account very small planes and helicopters, there's going to be 1 or 2 incidents every single day because there's just so many things in the sky. Yet, I really do think there is an uptick in events, and I always ask Cindy, feel into it for me, and what do you feel? I mean, was this pilot error, human error like that? Was this, because you wonder, are people having problems thinking clearly? There's an awful lot of people with health problems, tons of health problems. My God, we hear so many horror stories all day, every single day, about people that are not doing well. And when you probe in why and certain things that have been done in the past, we come back to the same things all the time. And I know you guys know, what those things are. But then we also have technology. We are still in a very, very tense geopolitical situation. So, you have all these different possibilities and potentials out there. Here, this update, 3 survivors, including a child, are in critical condition. Again, at least 18 passengers were injured. I saw another source saying over 20 or just over 20. The winds reportedly hit 40 miles an hour. No cause right now. That probably will take some time. Many people have their opinions on what's going on. Again, this was a Mitsubishi airplane. Again, not a Boeing. We've seen so much with Boeings. This is a lady that's videotaping herself. She has the presence of mind in a crash landing to videotape herself. And she says, my plane crashed. I'm upside down. just thank God everybody made it through. And thank God the plane didn't explode. Wow, you got to wonder. That seems like a miracle to me.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty wild, pretty frightening, but when I felt into it, it's a little bit confusing. I felt that there was a loss of controls of the word that came up was levers. So I don't know, and that loss of control could come from inside the person's head too. So not exactly sure. It's just something somebody was trying to make a correction, unable to make a correction because things were not working right, and having trouble deciphering. I kind of think that it was not pilot error given all the things that we have seen. I think this is something that, somehow has happened yet again, and it's going to look like an accident, so I don't know. It's just a mess, and it's a mess, and it doesn't need to be that way. And we have a lot of things going on, hopefully making a lot of changes. We'll have to see. I'm hopeful of the changes that I keep seeing. They make a lot of announcements about this is done, that is done. Oh, so-and-so brought this to light, that to light. But after they bring it to light, are they really doing anything about it? Or are they just bringing it to light to get us more upset, to create more loosh? I mean, for me, it's very, very kind of upsetting, because I'm just not sure, because we've been kind of conditioned to not trust anything that the media or the government's doing. So what do you do?
No, I mean, we're in a really weird place at this point in time. As we speak, we're going to touch on it. There's protests, of course, by people in D.C. right now, and I was listening to the verbiage there, and, you got to say, I could understand people being tired of everything in the system, but, there are things that are good going on that really, really need to happen. Yet at the same time, we don't hold our breath thinking that they're not going to literally give us a bone without taking something else or having ulterior motives. Because by this point in time, we should be extremely cynical with the system. I mean, extremely cynical. That's very, very justified. Here you have thousands of protesters gathered at the U.S. Capitol, massive rally against Elon and President Trump. As you can see here, it's part of the 50501 movement, which organized protests in all 50 states to oppose recent government actions, chanting things about the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, etc., etc. And you're always going to have division. And especially when it's really, really, it's fed, it's promoted, it's just, as we were saying, when you look at each of the presidencies, especially just take from Reagan forward, what have we had? I mean, we've had this wild pendulum swing, and it just swings farther each side. Each administration is going like more towards the left, more towards the right, if not in reality, in appearance.
Mm-hmm. Right. And what do you do with it? So it's like we really have to go inside and take control over our emotions, take control of ourselves, and make ourselves better. So we can't be so dependent externally, and I think that's where all the gotchas come from. It's like we need things that they've provided. We've gotten very, very soft. So now is a time where we need to look around and start getting serious about, hey, what can I bring home? What can I, what can I be in charge of in my own life, in my own home? What is it that I can sustain with that I don't need to go externally to a store for? And unfortunately, there's a lot of things that we all need, and we all find it externally, right? So there is a place to go within, and when you start going within, these things do start coming to you and you start figuring out ways to be resourceful and do things for yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely do things for yourself and keep your preparations, stacked and stuffed and fresh and, everything. We got to still, be ready for kind of anything, especially in these times. So this feels big. It really does feel big what's happening over in Greece and in Italy. Greece to build escape port on Santorini as the quakes continue. So Greece will soon set up an evacuation port on the island of Santorini to facilitate the safe escape of people in case of a bigger quake hitting the popular tourist destination. A Greek minister said on Monday. Santorini, a volcanic island in the beautiful Aegean Sea, has been shaken by tens of thousands of mild quakes since late January. But I wouldn't call it 5.0, 5.3 really mild, because there's been plenty of those too. There's been a ton of them in the fours. Thousands of people have fled the island, and authorities have banned construction activity. They've shut the schools as well as done the same in nearby islands. No major damage has been reported, but this is key. The scientists said the seismic activity was unprecedented. This is unprecedented, even in the quake-prone country like Greece, and have not ruled out bigger tremors. They have identified the main ferry port at the foot of a precipitous slope and other sites across Santorini as weak links, although they have not said they cannot be used in an emergency situation. So what they'll do is build an evacuation port for the safe docking of passenger ferries until a new port infrastructure is in place. I've been watching this closely, and, again, the USGS is not the best one for looking at Europe. CSEM is, but CSEM, if you're used to the USGS, CSEM can be confusing because it keeps 48 hours worth of info. And it's kind of like they all blur together too. I don't think it's quite as user friendly. But again, I'm used to the USGS. When you look at this, you can see it's still ongoing quite a bit. And you do also have this activity over here. I was kind of struck by looking at this energy flow. This is again Greece and the Santorini area that we're talking about. This is around Naples, and then we had a quake over 4.8 in Portugal at 6.9 kilometers depth. So that's significant to look at. When you look, it actually is not as active. Okay, it's goofing up on me here. It's not as active as I've seen it at other times. But still substantial, absolutely. It hasn't died out. And right here, the USGS is just showing 4. But again, 5.0 and 4.3s. I think of the Polish psychic because he's another one that I always follow. He said that 2025 would be a tough year in many ways, and economic crash was going to happen this year. And also a bigger, more expanded conflict would happen as well. But the other thing he said 2025 is going to be known for is a gigantic earthquake. And he said gigantic, that everybody would make note of. And that the scientists would literally be telling us that he said it would be at the bottom of either ocean. I think he said ocean. I think that's what he said. I don't know if he would have been seeing this in the Mediterranean or in the Aegean, or maybe even over in the Tyrian Sea or Ionian Sea, in this particular area between Greece and Italy, or if it's going to be somewhere else. But he said it would be so substantial that, again, the scientists would be saying it literally cracked open wide the crust of the earth. And this would be something that people would really be talking about, for a long time to come. And I think what he was, alluding to would be something to be more like a 9. Now, our beloved friend Jane had reached out to us and said she saw on her app that a 9 popped up. And then the app came out and apologized, saying they had a blip and that it was a 0.9 that came out. But at the same time, you start wondering, is there something, that we need to be aware of here? Because, this again makes me think of different prophecies. There are prophecies of, Rome being destroyed at a time, when there's a lot of things going on with the church and the Pope. By the way, they make it out like the Pope may be pretty much on his deathbed or very, very close to that. It just feels like I was a year off, is what it feels like. And the guide said your clock is short, because I was thinking we're going to have the big quakes last year around April, but maybe I was completely off by just about 1 year. We'll see. Could still be delayed. Again, we could change timelines, and like today, the feeling was, I feel like we are on, again, a different timeline. I really do think that our awakening and our intentions have totally screwed up the control system.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then Sarah in the chat room says an inverted delta is the sign of a stock market crash, inversion, positive to negative. And then KO method says an inverted delta is the sign of a stock market crash / inversion, positive to negative. Makes sense to me. Reference the movie Trading Places. Very interesting.
That's fabulous. See, like I had no thoughts of that at all, even though I'm expecting the crash this year. So inverted delta symbolism. That's awesome, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Together we figure this stuff out. Not any one person is able to pull all of this together energetically or in the mind, but when we start coming together, we start figuring things out. Even if you're just referencing movies and stuff, it is about pulling that data home so we all kind of have a clue of what's going on. And it's like, how do we prepare for this? We prepare the best we can, and we just we get moving on things that we can, and we work on things that we can, and we work together. And we're all definitely on this ship together. So we're doing the awakening together. Not any one of us can possibly take on this much energy. So we are very grateful for everyone in the chat room. This is a time of change. It's an amazing time. It's a time where, it can be a little bit scary. It's like that really scary roller coaster ride. That's kind of where we're at. I do like roller coasters. The scary parts get me going. Can't say that I always like them, but well, you guys know what I mean. So, yeah, thanks for that. Lots going on.
Yeah, we have a 2.5 up here in Maine. It's just a curious one. You will see them along the St. Lawrence, and we have seen definitely a little bit more activity than we've seen in past years up in New England. Also, when you look to Texas, there's been some interesting activity in Texas, and I know the USGS has had some issues lately. See, there was that swarm over here. These again, I think, are pretty much all fracking quakes for the most part. But when the big ones come, the fracking is going to complicate things to a all new level. I think that's for sure. When you look again going back to what's happening over there, well, as Open-Minded Approach says, so what's happening with the two biggest super volcanoes in Europe? And you have Campi Flegrei, the Phlegraean Fields, one of the largest, most dangerous volcanic systems in the world. It's a super volcano located near Naples, Italy, and significantly larger than Vesuvius. Past eruptions, the Campanian ignimbrite, about 39,000 years ago, they say. Again, all these numbers I would really take with a grain of salt, but one of the largest eruptions in Europe, significantly impacting global climate. In the last 24 hours, over 210 quakes have been recorded in the region, indicating ongoing seismic activity. And then Santorini caldera, also known as the Minoan eruption, one of the most powerful volcanic systems in the world. Located in the Aegean Sea, Greece, it was responsible for one of the largest volcanic eruptions in human history. Santorini's Minoan eruption, about 1600 BCE, was one of the largest in the last 10,000 years, but Campi Flegrei has produced even larger eruptions over a longer time scale. So seismic activity in these two regions, oh yeah, definitely concerning. Feeling into it, do you feel there's, what do you feel when you really feel into the ground around this area?
When I feel into the ground, so I am feeling like an aggravation point that's not necessarily getting any better. I feel that there's a desire for resolution at the aggravation point, because when we all want that, if something's bothering us, we're going to try to find a way to soothe it. We're going to try to find a way to bring peace to that area. Earth is really no different. So, I mean, it may just fizzle out, or she may have to do things to bring that aggravation point to something that's more manageable. But I don't know. I'm not picking up anything like on how long this is going to go on. That's just the information I'm getting right now.
Do you feel that there's any technological inflammation in this specific area?
That could very well be. I'm not picking that up. That doesn't mean that's not there. I'm just feeling the earth, and what she feels is just she's irritated. Yeah.
She's irritated, maybe like a pregnant woman.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That could be irritating. By the way, Mexico's president threatens to sue Google because they changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Yes. Interesting times, guys. So, there are rumors that there has been no gold in Fort Knox for maybe 35, 40 years. The last bars were taken out in the 80s and never replaced. Well, if they're going to be doing a little deep diving and opening it up, oh boy, will some heads roll? Will some heads roll? That's a big question. But when you think about that, and what if it is empty? You open it up, holy crap. Could there be anything going on with this? Gold is rushing from London to New York. A lot of recent news, like the Federal Reserve's decision to hold interest rates steady and the announcement of tariffs by 47 has implications for the financial markets, including the market for gold, as we've been talking about. A revaluation, I've seen more talk of revaluation of gold. If you can't smell what's cooking, guys, I get a little closer to the kitchen, because they are brewing this. They are getting ready to pull the plug, so to speak. And price of gold's been rising. But Financial Times reported that so much gold has been shipped to New York recently that there's a shortage in London. What? This is happening because of the tariffs on imported metals could soon be coming. So if you're a company that wants to hold gold as a safe haven or needs it for industrial uses, you have an incentive to move it inside the U.S. rather than a vault in London. The geographic shift doesn't explain why the price of gold is up. High interest rates in the U.S. and a strong dollar usually depresses gold. But reactions to the tariffs, nothing is done without the AI giving, all sorts of probabilities and possibilities. That AI, the real AI, has been around for forever. I mean, the entirety of our lives. And again, I found a whole bunch of articles talking about this, how U.S. banks are pulling gold from abroad in now. And specifically, I keep seeing London coming into New York. So are they covering up for what was stolen? What's really going on there?
hard to say. Hard to say. Do we ever really get the truth? I mean, everything seems to be run by never a straight answer, and we'll just really have to wait and watch and see, and just continue kind of doing what we're doing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess Canadian Prepper did a video on this. This has been going on for a while. Yeah, there is like this dominoes. You know, it's like dominoes. They're all set up and they're ready for somebody to go ahead and flick the dominoes. So here you have Stephen Miller's just confirmed that fraud rings have been using fake social security numbers and identities to steal billions of our taxpayer money through the IRS. I wouldn't be surprised, of course. And so with the audit going on, this is going to, again, cause a lot to be exposed. And I don't know how anybody that would be protesting in D.C. or anywhere could not, how could you have a problem with auditing the IRS or auditing all these agencies in which we've been getting pilfered? They've been stealing from all of us this whole time. How could anybody be upset about showing that we've been being lied to and stolen from? That doesn't make any sense at all. But again, there's a lot of people that I don't think they have a lot of sense. They get inflamed because of one or two things they hold dear, and then they just hear those words ringing out and they block out all the rest.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is true. This is a lot of psychological strangeness going on, and I think we can never really forget that. So as many nice things that we are hearing that we seem to agree with, keep in mind that if the information coming in, if it's mainstream, we just have to watch it. There's a reason why they want us to know all these things. And yeah, we are being watched psychologically, and we kind of help them keep an eye on us through social media in so many ways, through doing what we're doing. But what do? You can't really stop living. I don't want to stop living. I want to keep doing the things. I want to keep communicating with people, but slowly but surely, I'm just going to make a little bit of a different life for myself that I am comfortable with. And we all have that opportunity right now.
Yes, Spooky Action said being lied to, question mark. Yeah, every single politician in existence, that's all they know how to do, really, for the most part. And you have to look close, and you have to just simply watch every move that they make. So, if USAID was bad, wait to see how it turns out with the IRS. By the way, America is paying 13,686,701 dead people's Social Security. This may be part of that scam. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing, what has been going on to us. Again, such a sham. Our whole system, and I don't mean just the U.S., this is global, but maybe the U.S. is one of the worst places when it comes to the amount that the public has been scammed. Meanwhile, this is Bridge DP Robotics. This is a Chinese startup specializing in bipedal control solutions. This is their new Agibot. Yes. And again, this is a company that's thought to compete directly with Elon's and the US's in whole. But when you think about what is coming, they've made it pretty clear. They plan on replacing most of the human workforce with maybe some of these guys, for instance, and it's just going to be a different world in 10 years. I mean, mind-boggling different. I don't think the average person won't recognize this planet in 10 years' time. Mm-hmm. Maybe 5.
Well, kind of watching everything kind of crumble and collapse in on itself. So, yeah, I mean, everything that's happening right now is, it's just a huge collapse. So what is that going to do for each and every one of us? What is that going to look like?
Yeah, absolutely. Ed the Lorax had made a comment talking about commodities. So Ed, what commodities would you be valuing? Because this is the type of thing that I truthfully have not followed. This is something I would defer to David Devine for and about. Like if we had a direct question, I would ask David. DAP 2030. Because it's definitely not one of my strong points. I mean, there's logical conclusions that you can make about where we're heading and what's going to be more and more valued as time goes on. By the way, they're training 1,000 robots by 2027. I guess just got the feeling that there probably is, like Star Wars, instead of having a clone army out there that might number in the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, I bet you there's already a robotic army out there, or maybe I should say armies, that probably do number in numbers significant enough to dwarf many militaries around the planet.
And how frightening is that, to know that one single programming can then, instantly all of the others are programmed. You can look at that from anything from really small, micro robots to the bigger robots. It just takes one person to program it and then hit the spam button, and all the robots have that information. That's how quickly they could gather a force and have it do what they tell it to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dara says scares the bunk out of me. It really is scary to think about that. Oh, there's Lindsay. Thank you so much, Lindsay. You've been such an awesome supporter for all these years.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, again, we couldn't do it without your guys' help. We were posting more videos, and this shows you what we're up against. Like on Evolutionary, we've been making a concerted effort to post more videos, and then they just basically they just start demonetizing one video after another for various reasons. Again, this is why we definitely invite everybody to join us if you're able to over on Patreon as well. And here you go. These are the skies over in Russia. And so whether you're in New York, DC, or Moscow, you do see these same things going on. So, again, this shows you this is not a single nation's plan. No, this is one control system that fights itself, so to speak. And that is how it maintains power, is by, again, fueling its monetary needs primarily through war. And then also, there's other things out there. If you look at the biggest industries, that are bringing in the money, obviously the military industrial complex is ginormous. And then also health. Health expenses for most people have gone through the roof, unless you're somebody that has gone the alternative route and are looking more of maintaining your bioorganism at nice balanced levels. I again am somebody that haven't had any sort of health insurance per se for over a decade, probably about 12 years now. But we do spend a lot on the best food we could possibly buy, and so I don't worry about that, and we'll always spend more for what feels like better food.
And we'll eat less if we have to, because we really cannot sustain on a lot of the foods that are out there. I know I can't. I went through something really, really horrible. So even if I try to put the bad food in my body is going to tell me, no, you're not doing that again. You can't do that again. And I'm going to be in a lot of pain. So, pain is our greatest teacher, is it not? Pain is very important in our lives. It definitely gives us direction. But does it need to be so much pain, is my question. And it's my complaint when it comes to those types of things. It's like, did it really have to be this bad? And, maybe sometimes it does, to get us to make a change, to get us to do something different. So it's it's about working with our emotions. It's about following the guidance, and pain is probably the number one guidance force out there for all of us, unfortunately.
Yes, absolutely. U.S. egg farmers worry that the fight against the bird flu is unwinnable as experts consider you know what. Yeah, and this is Dr. Mary Bowden there saying it's time to buy chickens. And so we got our backyard fenced in, and then we're going to also put like an electric fenced in area and build a coop. And yes, we will be getting some chickens ourselves, and that'll be completely new for me. In case you haven't heard in past videos, Cindy grew up on a farm in Idaho, so for her, man, this is just getting back home, so to speak, and it is a beautiful life. I really do. When I think about some of the homesteading channels out there and how those kids are being brought up, being homeschooled, and also learning real skills that are going to help them to provide for themselves and their family in the future, I really tip my hat to them, and I think it's wonderful.
Well, it's a lot of work. A working farm is just that. It's a lot of work, and you don't do anything for nothing. If whatever food goes on your table, there's something going into it and some type of effort that you have to maintain. So it's not an easy thing, but I think in this day and this time, it's something that we all really need to consider. It's like, well, can I even consider this? Do I have the land? Does my neighbor have the land? Can my neighbor help me with the chickens? Can my neighbor help me put up a chicken coop if we're going to share eggs? I mean, it's that time to have that conversation if it's applicable in your circle of friends. And you never know. I mean, you might have family that's open to it. I think we just need to make ourselves available for conversations that may or may not be comfortable for us, but at least make ourselves available, because that opens opportunity. You want to be in a wave state, a wave of energy. You don't want to become that particle. You always want to be more wave, less particle.
Yes, absolutely. Have you guys noticed this? Like, I certainly remember in the past a lot more bugs on the windshield and all. I mean, shoot. I think I've had to refill the windshield wash maybe once in like the last 3 years. Yeah, and that says a lot about life in general, as obviously there's this big circle of life, and we have the food chain, and again, obviously too, when it comes to the bees, they are so important, and there's been so much of a disruption of the food chain by the corporations and by the system itself.
Mm-hmm. A lot of disruption, but I don't feel by any means that we are beyond repair. I don't feel that way at all. Earth, she has a way of pulling herself back into balance that you and I, we don't even know about, but it's there. I mean, the body is an amazing thing. We can truly heal ourselves. I mean, aging is not necessary. Aging is something that's been printed in us. Oh, goodness. Spooky action. Thank you so much. Everything helps, you guys. Everything helps. With the way that they demonize and they suppress, and it's a mess. And we have this drive to continue. We want to help with the awakening, and we need your guys' help too. And really, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so a group of 11 Amish teenagers have arrived in Tennessee rebuilding homes for victims of Hurricane Helene. They're going to stay an entire month donating their time and skills. Yeah, absolutely. God bless the Amish. They are a shining example in so many ways for what we can do as far as living on this planet in the US of A in this case, and still kind of not being of the system, doing your own thing. That's awesome, and they work together. They really work together. And And for us, we are always thinking, and it's just our way, about different ways of helping others in doing what we do. And you could see that the action is coming from the heart here. It's heartfelt, and it's not looking for any sort of reciprocal action, because it's going to come. This is what karma does. When you start prioritizing putting out good for others, good will come back to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it will. It will. When you do the right thing will happen. And I pay forward whenever I can, because I know that, that's what I'm supposed to do. We pay it forward wherever we can. We do our best. You be kind to people. You never really know what somebody is going through. And kindness is just, unfortunately, it's an act that most people are not used to. They're not used to just simple kindness. And there is a genuine nature to kindness. There's kindness because it's the proper thing to do. And then there's kindness because one is acting out of their heart chakra. And we need more of the kindness that is acting out of their heart chakra. And energy, the heart chakra moves energy. Love moves energy. And the more we can utilize that chakra and direct it, the more our lives change, and the more we're able to heal.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look to this, I just wanted to put it out there because, again, even the trees have consciousness. They have consciousness, absolutely. And they have an energy field around them. Many people will first notice the trees with their energy field. That was one of the first things I noticed. Because, again, they have life force around them. They have an aura around them. Your aura is an electromagnetic field, and it blends with all matter. So, again, Cindy and I sitting 18 inches apart, our energy is meshed. It's intertwined. And this is what happens all day, every day, as we interact with different beings. And most beings out there do communicate telepathically, and that's something that's going to be happening more and more to all of us as we go deeper into the Bronze Age. So visualization as spooky action, at a distance, so that's a fun one. Again, when you see quantum physics, it's all about intention, and really, again, this is all conveyed in not just Hinduism, but also in Buddhism and Taoism, in Gnosticism, in Hermeticism. There's so many of these more esoteric traditions that understand this. When you meditate just with your back up against the tree, maybe give yourself a chance to absorb the energy. Ask the tree first, do you mind if I absorb your energy, and do you want to share space with me and share energy? Just put the intention, ask, and then if you feel like it's okay, go ahead and do it, because there's a reason why the plant kingdom, like with the trees, they're taking in what we're giving off, and then we take in what they give off. It's obviously a system that has been created this way. But some of the things that we've lost touch with is that we could energetically ask for help from, say trees again, other beings, and they will respond. And so, when you understand that you're much more than just the physical body, when the physical body is of no use and no longer functioning, we leave it. Our consciousness just simply shifts to a different perspective. And there's so many layers to you. You're like an onion with one layer after another after another. And we can shift our consciousness throughout these different layers. This is what being a multidimensional being is.
And this is what makes energy work effective. When you work on the energy body and you're able to remove blocks for people, you're able to pattern people, you're able to bring them a sense of peace, you're able to give them back their energy, you're able to give them back their inspiration, because there's been so many people are so traumatized, and there's just layers and layers of energetic trauma, and everything external the body eventually makes it in the body. So I really really think sometimes like half of our life is spent in trauma and the other half is spent undoing the trauma. But I mean, trees are amazing to start with. You do want to start with a healthy tree though. So if your tree has a broken limb or something, you don't want to be practicing on that tree, but you do want to practice on a plant or a tree, the symbiotic nature of things, one that is healthy.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So again, that energy field is really one field ultimately, and we are a part of that field, and we could tap into other aspects and we could communicate with other aspects. I'm always communicating with the birds that we feed, and I could feel them too. I could tell when they're telling me, hey, this feeder's empty, bub. You better get out here. You better get some more food. And I'll show you guys. I keep forgetting to take some photos. We had a beautiful fox in the yard last night, came by after the deer were here. The deer were here most of the night. Some nights we have as many as 8 to 10 deer all congregating. They feel very, very safe in the yard. They know they're safe. Again, it's the energy that you put off, really, truly. It's visualization. Work on your ability to visualize. And so whether it's just, doing a meditation, staring at a candle, and then closing your eye, still see the candle, work on the details. Another meditation that I've enjoyed throughout the years is to bring myself back to a particular place, and it could be anywhere. And then see how many details you can recall. See if you could even recall the smells of that place, whether it's a restaurant, a home, whatever it is, a particular place you like to go hiking, camping, it doesn't really matter. Just try to focus in on all the little details. The more powerfully you can visualize, the more powerfully you can heal yourself.
Thoughts are things, and we can never, never, never forget that. So visualization is key when you are doing any kind of energy work, because that's the thing that manifests.
Yes, absolutely. Visualize and keep working on it. Now this guy, he's doing his work remotely. It looks like he's ready to operate that mouse.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Again, guys, we couldn't do it without you guys. Everybody is welcome to come join us on Patreon as well. Do check out evolutionaryenergyarts.com. And Ellie is working on that as we speak. We thank her for her help. We couldn't do it without her or you guys. As always, much love. Source bless.